So here is Lee at the Land Rover 3-day event in the 5-star just before we head out of the box. I always like to take a couple of deep breaths to kind of get the butterflies out. And then typically as we go out of box, they go away. At least, hopefully. Heading to the first fence, I really just want to get nice and tight on this left side. Always thinking about my lines here because, you really want to be efficient so you can stay up on your minute markers. Now he did feel, especially in the warm-up, like he knew this was different. And he just had a feeling of being impressed, it felt like. So the first two felt pretty good, just trying to get him kind of up and going. But he just feels a little bit backed off, where normally he's kind of grabbing the bit and taking me to the fences. So we get in a little close to this big oxer, kind of stalled. I'm like, okay, come on, bud. Coming to the water, I wanted to make sure I got in a good shot, but I can just feel he's just a little bit wide-eyed, and he jumped that a little low, so kind of hit with his belly over that. Jumped the corner pretty well. Now we're heading towards the coffin, which has a lot more people in it. So that first water complex was just nice to kind of get us going. And I know I really want to get him kind of relaxed and moving towards the fences in a good gallop step. I kind of get to a little bit of a miss to that big table, but he jumps it well. So the next fence is a nice triple bar, and I really wanted to make sure I came off of a positive stride to that before the coffin. Now at the coffin, there was already causing some problems. So for Lee, in knowing his strengths and weaknesses, the left side can tend to be our weakness. So I opted to do the long route here, just to give him a little bit of time. You can see how close people are to the ropes. And he kind of hung a little bit of a leg there, but he was actually pretty good through this portion. And again, it was the right side, so he's a little bit, we're both a little bit stronger on that side. And so I was happy to kind of get that one out of the way, because now heading up to the number 8A and B, I believe, which was these two brush boxes that kind of had a rounded profile. And I wanted to make sure I gave him a proper ride here, so I really kind of bent this out and then hooked it back, because again, it was a left-sided, kind of like a left-sided corner. And he was really good to give me that. That kind of, it felt pretty rough, but it actually rode decent for us. And then coming again to this really big table, we get a good distance there, jumps that very easily. And he's starting to settle in a little bit better now. I'm trying to keep him on the ropes here, trying to keep up on the minutes that we have. And just kind of, but you can see how he's kind of looking around a little bit as we come into this next portion, and you can just see all the people there. And coming down to the big ditch and wall. So I want to make sure that I'm really nice and positive to this big ditch and wall. So I say, come on, and give him a little encouragement from behind to make sure we stay over top. And I was really proud of him there. And so now just coming, again, playing around with riding my lines, trying to be the most efficient that I can be. Not always just hanging out in the center of the track. Now this combination was walked in the 4, but we added here in the 5. Wanted to make sure I had that shoulder in, and he was really, really good there. I was really pleased with how he felt. So now coming up to the hollow, and I had already kind of made up in my mind, just based upon how he was feeling and being a little hesitant of the combinations and stuff just with the atmosphere. So I've decided to take the long route. Got another good shot to that big rail there. So I was going to take the right-handed side as I come up this hill. He's feeling really good conditioning-wise. And so I'm going to start to balance. And I'm going to ride more towards the center of the right side. And he jumps this corner great. And then I kind of don't really ride him good enough here. And I just kind of like sat there, and we had it felt like a very stupid 20, because I feel like if I would have taken a little bit more time, been a little bit stronger in my body, it would have, that would have occurred. Now, unknowingly, he has only one front shoe at this moment in time. But I didn't know that. So I'm going to let him cruise down this hill, because now we have this is basically like a speed bump. Just want to make sure you get a nice shot to it. Jumps that really nicely. And then heading to the next water complex, where we have just a chevron, but it's put at a different kind of angle. So my thought was I'm going to not necessarily jump the face, but not jump it as a corner, kind of like in between. So I'm going to set him up here. And I get my line. And he was very good through there. And then heading to the this sunken road, which, you know, he's fairly experienced with this exercise. He knew it. This felt pretty easy. And then about here, I think he realized that the crowd is a good thing. So I felt him start to grow a little bit. And again, thanks to kind of all the pictures and video, I know that he lost his second shoe kind of right before that road crossing there. Which again, I didn't know in riding, and I had no idea that he had lost his shoes. I didn't hear it. I didn't see it. So heading up this hill, I want to make sure I get a nice, good shot to this table. And then he jumps that really well. And again, just using this because I have that 20 already, I'm going to make sure I'm going to do the long route at this water. So coming into the head of the lake, he jumps in incredible. And again, he's feeling a lot better now with the crowd. He doesn't feel so wide-eyed. But this is a really good experience for him here. And again, this is the left-handed corner, so I want to make sure I ride this really straight and well. He jumps that beautifully. And then coming around to this right-handed corner, I see a little bit of the gap. And he kind of caught the backside, which I thought I was going to be in the water for a second. But he's a good boy and used to me monkeying around. And I was able to pop back up and put my foot down. So that was a bit of a I don't want to fall off moment. And now coming to this next to the footbridge, it's the big split rail oxer. And coming to this, I kind of wanted to make sure again that I got a positive, but I ended up being on the decrease, and he stalled over the top. And again, I didn't realize that he had actually slipped at the base. So because he didn't have his front shoes. So hindsight's always 20/20. I should have probably pulled up about here, but I thought, well, let's see if we can just have a nice educational round. And I got a little bit too long and flat to this goose. And so there's just no way for him to do it. So at this moment, I just want to take time, take a deep breath, not be in a hurry, And then he pops these two fairly easy, and he's feeling very good fitness wise. He doesn't feel tired. And so I think, okay, I just need to make sure, because the last couple of fences I lost his confidence because I rode a little bit on the decrease. I'm going to make sure that I ride to a really nice positive one to this next big table that I'm coming to help him with his confidence here. And again, I didn't know that he didn't have his shoes until I'm coming down this hill and I see the good shot and I ask him to go and I feel him slip. And I was actually very glad he made that decision just unknowingly. He tends to be a horse that slips anyways. And he likes to push off the front end as like a springboard. So I was actually, when I felt him try and he slipped, I thought in my head, please don't try to jump. Please just stop, because that's safer for both of us. It was disappointing that happened and that we lost our shoes, because I feel like if he had his shoes, he would have easily been able to conquer that course. So I'm actually kind of stuck in a little bit of this area. So I'm working my way to get my way out so I can head back to the vet box so the vets can check him over. And you see he's trotting quite lovely here. And that's also a big part, thanks to my farrier and my team, to make sure he's 100%, which he is. And I had a good talk with my farrier when I got back home to kind of address making sure he can help keep his shoes on. And, it just was one of those unfortunate scenarios, but everything I feel happens for a reason. And I'm very thankful for everyone and Lee. And, it's just how it goes sometimes. And I do think he gained a fair amount of experience, and it was really great seeing everyone out there in the crowd.